All right, Thrive Nation, it is now time for yet another edition of
Wins of the Week!
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Wins of the Week with Matt Klein. Matt Klein, you're always looking good, my friend, but tell me, what is something great that's going on there with OXI? Give us some good news from beautiful Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, there's two things that are really a good highlight today. One is that as a franchise system, in terms of across the country, we have surpassed our 2020 projections in terms of sales per month across the country, which is pretty incredible considering the current climate of things. That's great. And then also we've added some brand new franchisees this month. Minneapolis, we got a guy that just today became a new franchise of 2 territories in South Chicago. And so another gentleman expanded his franchise brand, started in Wilmington. Now he owns another territory that surrounds Wilmington in North Carolina. So we've just seen a lot of growth and a lot of expansion with new old franchisees. So everything's going really well for us here.
So when somebody decides to buy a franchise, I want to make sure that the listeners out there understand what we're talking about and why that even makes sense. And there's really 3 big ideas I wanted to cover today. When you buy a franchise, what you're doing is you're saying, look, Jonathan Barnett, look, Rob, look, Matt, look, Kelly, look, all the team, Chris, everybody who spent their time over these years developing OXI to be what it is today. I am buying the systems that you made through trial and error and research because I want to jumpstart my business. I want to buy a business that is a proven path. Can you just speak to the level of systems and best practice systems you have in place now at OXI? Because really that's the main reason why you buy an OXI. Otherwise, you would sit down and make your own carpet franchise and your own carpet company and reinvent the wheel. Just talk to us about the level of systems you have in place and how easy you've made it for somebody to become financially successful quickly if they do invest in buying an OXI.
Yeah, and I think you just hit it right on the head is the systems piece of it because, there's a lot of moving parts to any business. We may have less than other companies, but still, I mean, you have an operations piece, you have an employment piece, you have a marketing piece, you have a technology, you have the actual cleaning system, customers, right? All those things are very important. You can't really have a successful business if one of those things isn't working correctly. So our real approach to this is anything we could potentially automate is going to help the franchisees get more focused on things they can control. So for instance, right when you start, you may never have ever had experience running a business or hiring someone or training someone or, sales, any of that. So what we try to do is first and foremost, understand what your skill sets are and maybe what some of the holes in your skills are so that we can plug some of those holes. So instead of leaving it to chance and saying, here's all the equipment, have a good time, you have a very structured coaching program and onboarding process to where we don't leave anything unchecked. It's literally a checklist item of every single thing that you need as a franchise just to get your business to open correctly. But then after that, we're going to really navigate your day and your week and make sure that, from day one, you have an entire scheduling center with W-2 employees that are trained on the specifics of OXI. So for every single customer that calls in from the moment you become a franchise, that's a professional conversation where they're actually going to book that job for you. And you're not going to go through 10 customers, 20 customers where you're just trying to figure out how to speak the language of carpet cleaning, right? But then we're going to train you on how you actually use the equipment. And if you have employees, how they use the equipment. We're going to piggyback off of that with our online university. So by the time they actually reach a customer on their own, they've had a variety of different type of training platforms that you can actually manage to see if they're capable to go out on their own or not. You're not guessing at that point. Okay, when it comes to marketing, you're going to sit down with our marketing team. They're going to build a marketing program that's specific to the territory and areas and the cities that you operate in, who your competitors are, and we're going to actually put the things in motion to where you can start to see results from your marketing. It's not a throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. It's a very managed program where we can actually see the results of your marketing so that we can manage that throughout and be better next month than we are this month, okay? And then there's going to be an entire team of just vendors, right? You're going to need to know who you're going to need to work with. Do they have a relationship? Do they have your best interest? So whether it's insurance, whether it's going to be credit card processing, payroll, where there's going to be background checks. All of those things we already have in place for you, so you don't have to spend the time going out and trying to figure out which company's good. We have it all laid out for you. So from start to finish, front to back, you're going to have the support of our team, our technology, our training platform, so you can be confident that you can run a business where there's not a bunch of holes where you're leaking everywhere.
You know, you think about this again. Somebody out there says, "Well, why would I want to buy a franchise?" Again, I go back to there's three main reasons. Michael Gerber, the best-selling author of The E-Myth Revisited, who we've actually had on the show and who I've met in Chicago, he said, "If your business depends on you, you don't own a business. You have a job, and it's the worst job in the world because you're working for a lunatic." I repeat one more time. James, I think somebody needs to hear this twice right there. James,
I'm listening.
You're an attorney, James. Are you prepared, legally speaking, to hear this information twice? Are you prepared?
Legally, yes, but physically, probably not.
Okay.
And hi, Matt.
And we move on with great confusion. But I read here, this is the Michael Gerber quote. He says, "If your business depends on you, you don't own a business. You have a job, and it's the worst job in the world because you're working for a lunatic." So with OxyFresh, you're buying the systems that allow you to create both time freedom and financial freedom. And so, Matt, when you buy an OxyFresh franchise, you have the marketing systems, the sales systems, the call center, the human resources systems, the accounting systems, and much, much more. I want to harp on the call center systems. I know when I was building my first company, DJConnection.com, the craziest thing would happen. I would market my business, Matt, and then somebody would call me. And someone might be saying, are you serious? That was a bad thing? Oh, it's a terrible thing. Because you're out there trying to DJ, right? You're DJing. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, the beautiful bride will be walking down the aisle, and boom, here comes a phone call. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And what you do is you hit the mute button because you're at someone's wedding, and you realize, oh no, I forgot to silence my phone. So then during the entire wedding, you keep your phone face down with your singular phone. You have limited minutes, which this was back in the early 2000s. And you put your phone down, and you just have to DJ, Matt, and block it out, knowing that you're missing potential weddings that are calling you right now because you have to focus on the bride in front of you. So you focus on making your performance the best it can be. The bride is excited. You're excited. It's a great relationship. You get done with the show, you have 12 missed calls. So the next morning you call the bride back and you say, I'm going to call her back. But you can't because it's a Sunday. So you say, I'll call on Monday. So Monday you call the bride back, Matt, and the bride says, oh, I already chose another DJ. Oh, I already booked somebody else. And you go, oh. So, but you because I was a disc jockey and I was just building my company, I didn't have anybody else to delegate to because I didn't have a big enough of a team yet or the budget available to hire somebody. So for years, I went on in this wilderness of trying to DJ great weddings while answering the phone, recognizing I couldn't answer the phone Saturday nights, couldn't answer the phone Fridays, couldn't really answer the phone on Tuesdays because any day I had a show, I couldn't answer the phone. So somebody out there is thinking about buying an OxyFresh today, and they're thinking, if I buy an OxyFresh franchise and I'm cleaning carpet, I've got my earbuds in, I'm cleaning carpet, using 1/10 of the water of Stanley Steamer, I'm so excited about my new franchise, who's going to answer my phone? And Matt, when you buy an OxyFresh franchise, you guys answer the phone. Tell us the good news about the call center with OxyFresh.
Yeah, and you actually hit on one piece of that that's really important, right? Yours was really that you're missing opportunity because people aren't answering the phones.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that's a big piece of it because in our industry specifically, you do have a lot of chuck in the truck type of business owners where they're doing the work, they're their own marketing specialists, they're doing everything for their business.
I love Chuck in a truck. If you could say, by the way, if you could say Chuck in a truck more, is that a thing you say? Is that a common phrase you use, Chuck in a truck? Is that industry lingo?
Nice, right, Ryan?
Okay.
Yeah, that's industry lingo.
Okay, back to you.
You don't want to be Chuck in the truck. Right?
Back to you in the booth there.
Because you don't have any time if you're Chuck in the truck. But going back to the scheduling center, like that's just one problem, right? You're actually losing opportunity. When you're growing a business, you can't lose opportunity because you give that customer away, and if that customer uses the company they actually like, you may never see them again. Right? That's a problem. But there's another part of that that's really expensive. When you're growing a small business and you are out there trying to grow your company and you hire a full-time person that's sitting by the phone, you're basically paying them hourly regardless of how many people book a job. That's expensive, right? So the scheduling center knocks off two things. One, you're not missing calls. Two, you have a professional person answering those things, explaining the cleaning system, who we are as a company, and effectively booking that job into the right part of your schedule. But then you're not paying somebody in times in which they're not busy, the scheduling center is working for you, because the beauty of having the nationwide scheduling centers, they are always busy, but you're not paying someone full time to be sitting by your phone. They're answering the phone for your franchise when they call specifically, right? So it's a super efficient way to grow your business where you can focus on your company, your area, your customers, but you're not missing out on the ball and you're not spending a lot of money on things that aren't helping you.
Matt, I want another big benefit of buying a franchise is we're talking about the 3 big benefits of owning a franchise, the 3 big reasons why you'd want to. Again, when you buy an OXI franchise, it's the systems, man. The systems. Now, Matt, so many people, and we're not trying to benefit with OXI at somebody else's expense, but you know this right now. The COVID-19, chaos has caused a lot of people to lose their jobs. But yet OXI is not only surviving, it's thriving. These systems, when you buy an OXI, you're getting almost a recession-proof business. Can you speak to the systems you have in place that create a virtually recession-proof company?
Yeah. I think we lucked out. We didn't build it to combat something like COVID, but because we are a cleaning and sanitizing company, I mean, we are helping people's properties and homes be cleaner, after we leave. That's a huge benefit. But also in terms of just being a company that can help customers in a time of need, right? There's flooring everywhere. Every building has flooring, whether it's carpet or tile or hardwood. So there's no customers out there we can't target. That's a big one. So
there's flooring everywhere. This just it. Okay, back to you, Matt.
There is flooring everywhere, right? And so that helps us that we have, there's not been one area in the country, one territory that we've hit every customer, right? There's so much opportunity there. But also we've been able to get through things like 2008, where it was a real financial crisis. And our business not only grew unit economics, which means the amount of jobs we're booking month over month, but we grew in terms of franchisees, right? People get really tired of not being able to foresee their future and understand what's going to happen next month.
Right.
With a business, you can't, right? And so, I don't know if anything's completely recession-proof, but we've been able to be really consistent and show growth through very hard times. And it is because of those systems, right? When things like this happen, our franchise improves greatly because you have really good people out there that lost really good jobs and it wasn't their fault. And they never want to feel that again. So now they're going to go and they're going to start their own business. And they have such a huge skill set from their current, position or their last industry. So we benefit from that. I mean, the hiring pool right now, if you're a small business owner and you can operate your business, it's never been better now. There's so many people that want opportunity to go out and work and make a good living. So, we are seeing the benefits of some of this, even though it's a pretty interesting time at the moment.
So the systems, again, folks, if you're out there saying, I want to buy a business, I want to buy a turnkey business that has thought through all the details. They've thought through the linear workflow. They've thought about how do we market to new potential ideal and likely buyers? How do we actually sell something in a turnkey way? How do we manage the customer service relationship and the expectations with the call center? How do we hire people? How do we do the accounting? If you're looking for a company that already has those systems, OXI checks those boxes. Matt, how many OXI do you think you're going to award? How many franchises do you think you're going to award before you wrap up the 2020 year?
So we do. One of the things that has been super challenging with COVID is that lenders are having a little bit harder time lending, and not that they're not. It's just the time frame. But because of that, we have about 10 more franchisees that we've been talking to over the last 6 months that are really coming to the end of their funding process to where they're ready to move forward. So with the combination of people today and some, I think we're going to add about 10 new franchisees by the end of the year, which would be an excellent, end of the year quarter. So that's what we're expecting. I know my guys that are talking to people. We've had more interest in this franchise than we've had probably in the history of our business, and so we feel very fortunate about that.
Now let's talk about this next benefit of owning an OXI. It's the win-win relationship based upon access to mentorship and shared goals. All right, and I want to make sure we get this. If I were to buy an OXI franchise right now, correct me if I'm wrong, the more growth that I have as an individual franchisee, the more money that the franchise, in this case OXI makes, right? So the more money that I make as a franchisee, the more money that the franchise makes, because it's a percentage thing, correct? So I mean, your goals are aligned with the goals of the franchisee. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the little percentage per franchise allows us immense resources to set up all that automation that's helping our franchise. So the more successful our franchisees are, the more resources we have to dump back into automation and technology, into marketing programs that then cycle through to the local franchise. So it's very much a life cycle type process where the more successful you are on a local level, the more successful on a national level, and the more resources we can bring to the individual franchise.
Matt, I've got this new move I'm working on. I keep it topical, but yet I don't actually deal with the topic, the news of the day. So, James, see if you like my new strategy here. So let's check this out, okay? Speaking of Hunter Biden's laptop, hey, Matt, let's talk more about this win-win relationship with OxyFresh, the shared goals. If I'm a franchisee and I get kind of lost, I get kind of distracted, I need some mentorship, can I just call up the coach at any time? I mean, can I call you guys up? Is that how that works as a franchisee?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that we absolutely encourage you to do. If there's ever a scenario where you're just looking around for answers, you're already behind, because you should have already had a conversation with our team about the specific topic that you're not really sure about. Okay, and this happens to people that are 10-year-old franchises. There's just things that come up, right? And so we have the initial launch and the initial coaching program the last 6 months. But there's ways you can just talk about individual situations. There's also an entire relaunch program where you maybe just need to get reestablished in your business.
Freshen up.
You need to go through a relaunch program because maybe the first one didn't hit home, or maybe you weren't taking it as seriously enough as you wanted to, or maybe your goals have changed. So there's not a specific way. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach to this. There's a lot of different people. There's different backgrounds, different skill sets, right? We need to understand what you're trying to accomplish, understand how much time you have in a day, understand the resources and automation you have at your disposal, and then work your butt off to grow your business. And we'll help you do that. But it is a two-way street for sure.
Now, Matt, do I need a lot of technology when I buy a franchise? I mean, how much money does it cost, and what sort of office stuff do I need? I think a lot of people, when they think about buying an OxyFresh, they fail to consider we do a poor job of I do a poor job of bringing it up. You don't need to get a big office building. You don't need to have a big lease or a big overhead with an OxyFresh. I mean, it's largely a home-based business. How much does it cost to buy an OxyFresh, and what kind of office space or office equipment do they need to be successful as an OxyFresh franchisee?
Yeah. So if you are a new franchise, it's $39,900. That includes your territory that is protected. We do not compete with each other. That includes your entire equipment setup for carpet and upholstery, about 3 months worth of product, plus the training where we'll fly you out to Denver and you'll spend about 4 days with us, 5 days. That's what you need. If you are a veteran, you do get a veteran discount of 10% off the franchise fee. We're a part of VetFran. That's very important to us. So if you are a veteran, you do get a discount off the franchise fee. But that piece of it gets you the franchise, everything you need to start operating your business. You do not need an office. You do not need anything. At most, if you were going to get something in the very beginning, it might be like a $50 or $70 storage unit. But even at that, most of your product and equipment is going to be in the vehicle, and you can store it in a 2x2 closet, any overflow. Okay, so you don't need real estate. You don't need any type of overhead.
What kind of car do I need? What kind of car?
Yeah, so we use like smaller fleet programs. We have a fleet program through Dodge, Dodge ProMaster City. They're $27,000, brand new, wrapped with a full logo of our franchise, plus a racking system that's custom to our equipment and product inside. We get about $9,000 off of those vehicles because they're willing to work with us on that. But we don't require at this point for you to have to use that. It's just a great option for you in terms of getting your business.
Matt, I don't want you dodging the question. Can I get a motorcycle with a sidecar? Auto wrap that thing with the OxyFresh logo?
Essentially, you could. I'm waiting for a boat. I'm waiting for someone to wrap a boat.
Do I have to have a megaphone to be a successful OxyFresh franchisee?
It wouldn't hurt if you're in a parking lot.
Matt, I'm just saying, is this a requirement? People want to know.
Can I refurbish Hunter Biden's laptop and use it as my own?
Clay, in a perfect world, would everybody walk around with a megaphone and talk to each other that way?
I think people would spread rumors less. I think in the office, Matt. I mean, think about this. There's no rumors at OxyFresh, but I think if all the employees were required to talk through a megaphone at all times, they'd be like,
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he wore that to work.
That would cut down on rumors in the office. That's just a pro tip.
Yeah,
So again,
I kind of feel like they put me on the other side of the office because I talk so loud that I kind of do that anyway.
okay, so
Why
let's
me
make
in the
sure we're
corner?
getting this idea, folks. For under $50,000, you can have a proven franchise plan from my man, Matt Klein, who we have on the line. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com/oxyfresh, thrivetimeshow.com/oxyfresh, if you go there, you can learn more about it. But again, you have there's 3 great benefits of buying an OxyFresh. You have the systems for the marketing, the sales, the call center, human resources, accounting. It's all there. Point 2, it's a win-win relationship based on a mentorship from a company that actually benefits when you benefit. I mean, the OxyFresh brand wants you to become successful because they make more money the more money that you make. And point 3, it's world-class onboarding and training. If you want to buy an OxyFresh, you got to come out to Denver to do a shadow process, to do what they call a discovery day. Matt, how long is the discovery day process?
There's 2 parts of it. So you can come out for just a 2-day discovery where you're not expected to move forward or sign or become a franchise. That happens with about 20% of the people that come out. There's another option where you can you can add the actual full training. So you go through the 2-day discovery.
Yeah.
Once you feel comfortable, you become a franchise, you sign, and then you stay for 2 or 3 more days. At that point, you're actually a franchise. And when you get back home, there's going to be additional training. But in 30 days after that, you're really going to be operating your business.
Hey, and final
full training should be 4 to 5 days.
4 to 5 days, okay. And then final question here. And we don't have to mention his last name on the show, but has Bronson came to Denver yet? Is Bronson there? Is he there right now?
He's not, but they did book their flight to come out for November.
I'm so excited for him. I'm so excited for him because he does so well running his current business. When he buys an OxyFresh, he's going to go next level. If you're out there, folks, you're wondering time freedom, financial freedom, for under $50,000, if you want a proven OxyFresh plan, a proven franchise plan that has the ability to create both time freedom and financial freedom, check out thrivetimeshow.com/OxyFresh. thrivetimeshow.com/OxyFresh. Full disclosure, OxyFresh hates using water. They use 1/10 of the water of their nearest competitor. Matt, is that a true statement, or was that puffery? Was that hyperbole?
It is. We use about 1 to 2 gallons of water in a typical 5-room home, where most of our competitors are using 40 to 50.
Matt, I'm going to hang up on you because I find myself being distracted by your majestic humbleness and beauty.
Well, okay. Well, before you hang up with me, I appreciate the time.
No, I appreciate you. It's a thing where it's like, it's like if you have a friend who's like, you're a lady out there and your friend's like a pageant queen, or you have a friend who's like, oh yeah, what do you do on the weekend? Oh, I'm an extra. Oh, for what movie? The movie 300. Oh yeah, that's what I do. That's what you're talking to Matt Klein. It's just it's ear candy, and it's hard to pay attention. I mean, sometimes I black out and I'm like, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about male modeling, or are we talking about time freedom and financial freedom? Hey, you've been married now for how long? How long have you been married?
I got married July 19th.
And you don't use shampoo. Is she using shampoo, or did you convert her over to Team Non-Shampoo?
No, I think she's all shampoo, man.
Okay.
I'm on an island by myself on that.
I'm going to give her a pro tip that she doesn't want. I'm just going to give to you. Feel free to pass it on if you want. Suave right now gives you 30% more free than they used to give you. So Suave right now, it's like about $2 at Walmart. They're going to give you 30% more. And I don't want to put any pressure on you. But, it's 30% more free. I found that out there, man. I went and got some shampoo for the kids the other day. And the Suave brand.
Well, what a deal.
It's kind of a generic brand, but to me, it's incredible. And you get that there. Matt, and it's incredible. And it's 30% more free. So just feel free to pass that on right now. Just a little pro tip from your good friends in Tulsa.
It sounds great, because there's a million things in my shower that I don't use.
All right, man. You take care. Have a great day. And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom!